Welcome friend, it's Ashley Clarke with Earthkeeper Yoga, and I am here once again in my studio here in Birmingham, Alabama, and I welcome you to a gentle yoga practice. As I feel into what the energy kind of feels like right now, it just feels very anxious. So I'd like to offer you a class for when you feel that way. This is all about challenging ourselves a little bit, but also really being able to soften the body. So in order for us to do that, I would love it if you had access to a couple of blocks as well as your trusty blanket or beach towel. And then I'm sitting on a yoga bolster. So if you don't have access to a yoga bolster, then I would suggest a really firm pillow. It might even be the one off your bed. Whatever you need here. So there's a bolster is firmer than a blanket or blocks could do, but if you put the two together, so if you had the blocks and you had the blanket or beach towel, you could actually put the blocks on the lowest setting, put your blanket right on top, and you get that soft and firm all together. So if you don't have access to the bolster, the things that we'll be doing today, you'll be able to modify with the blocks and the blanket. So grab those things and I'll meet you right here on the mat. All right, as we get started today, we are going to begin on the bolster or the lifted area of the blocks and the blanket. And what I really love about this is that there's some softness, but there's also the possibility of bringing those knees underneath the hips. And so if it's uncomfortable for you to sit how I normally offer, which is just the blanket and the tailbone coming right off the front of it, this can be equally as helpful. So as you soften into whatever your comfortable seat looks like, I'm going to invite you to let the hands come gently to the lap. And then we're going to take the crown of the head and really reach it up towards the sky. You'll notice what that did to the chin. It created some space in the back of the neck. And go ahead and close your eyes. You can keep a soft gaze towards the floor if that serves you more. And give yourself a cleansing breath in through the nose, sigh it out through the mouth. Do that again. Inhale deep. And exhale, let it go. Let's do it one more time. Inhale deep. Exhale, let it go. And then just begin to move that breath in and out through the nose. Let the belly expand, let the ribs expand, the heart space. And let everything kind of soften as the breath moves out of your body on the exhale. Use this opportunity just to allow the parasympathetic nervous system to slow, to come out of fight or flight mode. When we're riddled with anxiety, this deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth is superb for that. But then you want to try to regulate by keeping the breath in and out through the nose. Soften at the brow and the jaw. And give it 3 more just like that. Notice the softening of the body. Beautiful. Go ahead and flutter your eyes back open. Welcome. So when we are feeling anxious, one of the things that happens is, for a lot of us, it's really difficult to sit still. We've just told the body to calm, but then there's this inner urge, this inner calling, if you will, that makes us really want to move. And I do want to honor that, but I want to teach you a new breath before we begin. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the pinky and the thumb on either hand, it does not matter, and then the middle 3 fingers are going to fold down towards center. And we're going to move through alternate nostril breathing. So this is really great to get deep into the ah, as well as to find the okay? And we want both. We want the balance in between. All right, so here we are with thumb and pinky extended, 3 fingers pointing down towards the palm in the middle. And we're going to make sure that we have a tall spine, check the crown of the head up towards the sky. We're going to take that thumb and put it right there on the outside of the right nostril. Keep the left nostril open. Go ahead and close your eyes. Take an inhale in. And then as you exhale, let the pinky come to the left nostril, blow it out through the right side. Take an inhale here. Really let the breath fill that inside of you. And then move the thumb back to the right nostril, let it go through the left side. And soften through the jaw. Let's inhale here. Switch to the right nostril to exhale. Continue just like that. Give it one more round. When that's complete, bring that right hand back down to the lap. Take a cleansing breath in and out through the nose. And with the eyes closed or that soft gaze, notice the difference in the energy moving through your body. Does it feel as if it's amped up just a little bit? And how does that feel in an already somewhat on the fringe or knee deep in the middle of anxiety? And give yourself a cleansing breath in through the nose, sigh it out through the mouth. Beautiful. Flutter the eyes open. Let's see if we can calm just a little bit. So we'll take the left hand, we'll bring the pinky and the thumb out, we'll spin the 3 fingers in the middle, we'll press down towards the inside of the palm, and we're going to start on the left side this time. So go ahead and take that thumb to the left nostril, pinky to the right nostril, take a breath in through the nose. Now switch, thumb to the left nostril, let it go. Inhale. Pinky to right nostril. Keep moving just like that. And do that one more time. Beautiful. Release that left hand down to the leg. Take a breath in and out through the nose. Notice the sense of calm that is trying to press through your body. And allow that moment of liberation as everything just finds a moment of softness. And give yourself a cleansing breath in and out. In through the nose, sigh it out through the mouth. Beautiful. Open the eyes. All right, so we're going to move off the bolster. The reason I use the bolster to get the hips higher than the knees was because I really do think it helps you keep that long spine. And when we're trying something new, I think having as much space within your body right here to really move that breath in and out is so helpful. So feel free to use a bolster anytime, or to always have your setup with the 2 blocks flat with the blanket on top, just to keep those knees up, or the hips over the knees. All right, let's move off the bolster. And then we're gonna take that bolster and we're gonna put it in the middle of our mat and we're gonna straddle it. So if you didn't have this, you would just sit across the blocks. And if it's too wide, you might even take the blocks and turn them where they're long ways, just to give yourself some more space. So I got a little model for you here. So the tops of the feet are on the mat. We're gonna bring the hands to the knees. And then we're gonna take an inhale and we're gonna bring the crown and the tailbone back, shine the heart forward, shoulder blades come together. Take 2 breaths right like this. And then take an inhale and exhale, curve it in, curve that spine back, tuck in the tailbone, round the spine, bring the chin to the chest, breathe 2 breaths. And let's begin to move. Inhale, rising up and back. And exhale, round it in. So just a different way to move through cat-cow. Letting there be movement, but really inviting in a sense of softness where it's available. Keep the breath through the nose. Give it one more. Round back to that tall spine. We're going to take the arms into a T. Inhale, arms and gaze rise, and as they do, settle those shoulders, bring the gaze back towards me, and then cross this right wrist on top of the left up above your head. Turn those palms so that they touch. Take an inhale. And then exhale, open the heart. Send the arms back, big stretch through the heart, big curve through the low back. Hold it, one more breath. Release those palms, bring the hands back above the head, take a fresh breath. And then exhale, let the hands come down to the mat. Let the hips stay where they are. Rest through the upper body, stack palms for the forehead. A more gentle version of child's pose. Inhaling, pressing into hands, coming back up onto the bolster. And we'll bring those arms back to that T. Take an inhale, arms and gaze rise. Exhale, bring the gaze back forward, settle the shoulders back down even with the rest of the upper body, and then we'll cross the left hand on top of the right, turn palms to touch. Inhale, tailbone goes back, reaching those hands back behind, shoulder blades kiss, notice the tension and the stretch, breathe. Release palms, send arms back up towards the sky, gaze back forward, inhale. Exhale, slowly coming back down, making our way into that supported child's pose. Gentle opening through the hips. Beautiful. Press into the hands to bring yourself back up. All right, so let's come off the bolster. I'm going to send it all the way to the right where the back edge of the bolster is even with the back of my mat. And then I'm going to find those cheerleader legs. So right knee out front, left knee is bent with the foot behind. If that doesn't work in your body, just extend this left leg long. So right knee out front, left knee behind. Fingertips on either side of that right leg. Press up through the crown of the head, and then I want you to intentionally try to release this left glute. So the whole left leg from knee to hip wants to engage and be all tight. That's what it feels like when we have tension in our body. So I want you to consciously release that. Take an inhale, and exhale, let it soften. And give yourself another breath right there. Beautiful. All right, take this this bolster, and you're going to bring it where it looks like it's shooting out of your knee. So the knee is just in the middle of the bolster. Take an inhale, arms rise. Exhale, gentle twist to find the bolster, and then let the hands come to it. Rest right over that right thigh. So the belly is pressing on the inside of the right thigh. That's giving you a little bit of a push to open that right hip. And notice where the breath is traveling in your body. And press in to bring yourself up. And you can keep the bolster where it is for just a moment. We're going to change sides. Then move the bolster. You can go ahead and put it outside of that left knee. All right, so left knee is forward, right knee is back. We've got the hands on the floor. Reach through the crown of the head, take an inhale. Soften through that right glute, through that right quad. Soften down. Give yourself another breath. Take an inhale, rise up. Twist just a little bit the chest towards that left knee, and then slow lower. Hands can stack. Forehead can rest on the palms. You're getting that opening through that left inside of the leg, through the hip. Beautiful. Press into the hands to bring yourself up. So as we move through this practice, I want you to know that you are being completely supported. And so there's something that can minimize any feelings of anxiety when we feel that we are safe. So this whole practice will lead us through that. All right, the next thing we're going to do is we are going to take the blocks and we are going to take the back block, if you will, put it even with that back of your mat. We're going to put it on what we call the medium setting. So small, medium, tall, just like a coffee. The front block will be on the smallest setting, and there's about an inch and a half in between the two blocks. And then we'll take our bolster and we'll bring the front of the bolster all the way to the floor, and then the back of the bolster is even with the back of that block. So that helps everything stay supported. Now I'm going to face towards the side so you can see me. I'm going to take my sacrum, the little back part, the little triangle part of my booty, and we're going to bring it right up next to the block. You're going to take your blanket and you're going to unfold it until you get to here, so it's half. And then go ahead and roll the blanket where it looks like a long noodle. All right. And then let the legs butterfly. And when the legs butterfly, then you're going to take the blanket and put the middle of the tube, if you will, right on top of your ankles, and then tuck the ends through your legs, and then bring the blanket through, and then you can tuck it in, or if it's feeling too bulky, mine's a little bulky, it looks almost like there's a pretzel around your legs. All right, so what that does is it creates some softness right at the ankles so that you feel like the ankles can really soften. And then we're gonna roll back on the bolster. Think about having the chin parallel with the shoulders, and then open those arms to either side, palms face down. What you're gonna feel here is the heart really being opened. You're going to feel supported in the low body. Check the position of the chin. Close the eyes. And allow your body to soften by using the breath to guide your body in that direction. So deep inhales and exhales through the nose. Let that belly get really big as it expands with an inhale. Soften it on the exhale even further. Beautiful. Go ahead and take an inhale. Bring the hands down next to the hips with the palms face down, elbows in line under shoulders, and then press yourself all the way up. You're going to move that blanket tube, if you will, off to the side. And I'm going to invite you to bring your right hip to the bolster. So I like to cheerlead the legs, but in a smaller way, so there's less space in between them. And my whole side body is facing the bolster. So from here, we're going to deepen into a restorative twist. So to get there, what you do is take an inhale, lift the arms. Exhale to find a twist. Let hands come down on either side of the bolster. Notice how that left glute really just plugged in. Slowly lower down. And let one temple or the other come to the mat, or to the bolster rather. Release the arms. You're going to feel the shoulder blades come apart. Soften into this posture. Notice the constriction of the breath. Give it 3 more nice deep rounds of breath. Bring hands where they're under shoulders to press yourself up. Beautiful. And then I am going to change the direction of the bolster just so you can see me, but you could turn away from me and just move the left hip to the bolster. So it's cheerleader legs, a more tight version of that. And then that left hip is touching the bolster. For some reason, I think it's good to wrap my left foot around my right calf. I'm not sure why, but it's habit, I guess. Take an inhale, lift the arms up. Use an exhale to twist over to the left. Hands come on either side of the bolster, and then slowly let yourself roll down. Either temple can come to the bolster, and then just let yourself melt into it. Notice the constriction of the breath. One more. And bring those hands under shoulders to press yourself up. Now I am going to move so that The bolster is now in between the legs, and the legs are spread nice and wide. And then we're gonna do a restorative forward fold, but I can tell you right now that I want mine to be taller. So I'm gonna use the front block, I'm gonna bring that to medium, and I'm gonna bring the back block to tall, and I'm gonna reset my bolster on it so that I feel like I can get just a little bit more height. And then get as close as you can to the bolster. Start to walk yourself down. You're going to get a stretch through the hamstrings, a stretch through the low back. And let the upper back round. Hold it 3 more breaths. Beautiful. Bring hands closer to shoulders to bring yourself up. And take the blocks out of the way. And then what we're going to do from here, actually, you're not going to move the blocks out of the way. You're going to bring the blocks side or with space in between and bring them to their tallest setting. And then you're going to take the bolster and put it on top of the blocks. So it's almost like you're building a little house. And then I want you to scoot yourself forward and let the calves come to the legs. Now, you're gonna get the booty as close as you can because you wanna try to make the knees be up as close as you can to the thighs. Then let yourself roll down, check the position of the chin. I want you to let those knees just fall out just a little bit. Hands can stay on the belly. Let all the tension in the lower half of your body completely relax. And I want you to start to think about breath moving in and out of your body as if you were a wave of the ocean. So I want you to imagine a wave starting really deep down in the belly, which is like a big body of water. And then it starts to ripple up into a wave that comes up to the ribs, rises up even more, and crests right there at your collarbones. And then the wave begins to recede back down through the heart area, through the ribs, and back into the belly, back into the wider part of the waters. So move just like that. Deep low belly breath. Cresting up to the wave. Releasing slowly, wave receding back into the larger body. Let it be what you need it to be here. And start to let that breath settle, to just move freely through the nose, in and out. And notice how much softness has come to that lower part of your body. Really let the knees splay out. Wiggle the toes. Line up knees with the ceiling. Circle the ankles. Point and flex the feet. And then the easiest way to come out of this would be just if we were going to move into a tabletop position, we could bring knees to one side, take the upper arm, use that hand to press into the floor to bring ourselves up. And then we're going to bring that bolster back onto the mat. You can move the blocks out of the way. We're going to sit back up on the bolster. On the bolster and come back to an easy seat. Hips are kind of coming forward just a little bit to let there be length through the spine. And I'm going to invite you to close your eyes again. Keep the breath in and out through the nose. I want you to pretend that there is a string. And it's got a weight at the bottom and a weight at the top. And the string is as long as from your belly button all the way up to the crown of your head. So I want you to think about taking a really deep breath to the point where you can imagine that weight on the bottom of the string that would be at your belly button. I want you to think about taking so deep of a breath that you're able to pull that weight all the way to the center of your chest. And then as you exhale, it becomes heavy and the weight pulls that all the way back down to your belly button. Inhale, that lower weight lifts. And exhale, it lowers. If it helps to move your hand, you can. Inhaling, moving a hand from the belly to the heart. And exhale, moving it back to the belly. And bring the opposite hand to the crown of your head. Take an inhale, bring that lower hand to the heart. Exhale. Keep them there. Let it go. Take an inhale. Exhale, move the bottom hand down to the belly. Move the opposite hand to the heart, off the head into the heart. Remove both hands, let them come to the lap. Continue to breathe just like that. Noticing the space around your physical body. What does that feel like at the crown of your head? And what does it feel like at the heart? What does it feel like at the belly? Stay with that feeling. 3 more breaths. Return to normal breathing. Begin to bring awareness to the ankles, the tailbone, all of the places that are supporting you as you feel as if you have melted into the mat. Begin to wiggle the toes, wiggle the fingers. And begin to turn the nose towards either shoulder. Bring the nose back to center. Bring the hands down either side of the hips. Chin comes down towards chest. Take an inhale. And let it go. On your next inhale, reach arms and gaze up. And then exhale, let those hands come down in front of the heart. Bow, chin to chest. And as we close our time together today, I'm going to read one of my favorite quotes from Margaret Atwood. Water does not resist. Water flows. When you plunge your hand into it, all you feel is a caress. Water is not a solid wall. It will not stop you. But water always goes where it wants to go, and nothing in the end can stand against it. Water is patient. Dripping water wears away at a stone. Remember that, my child. Remember that you are half water. And if you cannot go through an obstacle, go around it. Water does. During our practice today, I've tried to cue times of when the body was soft, but also reminding you of how the breath was finding a way around the constriction. Use your breath when you are feeling anxious. I taught you 3 different variations of breath that you can use, both the alternative nostril breathing. We did something called a Vayu breath, which was to make it feel almost as if you could balance that weight right in the center of your body at your heart. And then we also did a rising breath that was almost like it was in 3 parts, starting deep in the belly, rising up like the wave to the collarbones, and then bringing it back down. So all 3 of those techniques, when you start with the left nostril open, is a way, closed, is a way, are ways that you can calm the body. So I want you to have those tools in your toolbox as you deal with anxiety. We also cut the practice nice and soft and supported by using the bolster and the blocks and the blanket. We didn't rush through anything, but we let our breath take up the space. So in the middle of the anxiety of really wanting to move, and when we're feeling frustrated to really want to kind of wring out the body, I did gentle twists with you. So you could feel that constriction, you could feel that opening through the body, but we also gave it plenty of opportunities to really use the breath to soften it. So I hope this has been of benefit for you. May we be more like water. Gratitude for practicing with me today. May you know kindness, and may you be kind. Gratitude. Namaste.